Hi, everybody. My name is Maddie Jones, and I'm the editor at Plus Model Magazine. And I am super duper excited to be here with Jessie, our cover model for January 2022. We named this issue the New Year Fabulous You because we don't believe in just becoming a completely different person in the new year. We believe in celebrating you every day of the year. And I believe that our cover model, Jessie, believes that as well. She lives her life in kindness and movement and joyful movement, which I absolutely love about her. And she embodies everything that we love for this month in particular. So, Jessie, thank you for being with us today. And for those of you that don't know, Jessie, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you. Formally I would say like, oh, I'm a plus size fitness influencer and body positive, you know, dance instructor. But like informally, I'm just a Latina from the Bronx. No, I'm a mom, a wife, an avid 80s music lover, just someone who really loves to move their body and because it makes me feel good and want to share that with everyone else. So yeah.
And when did your passion for like the wellness space start? How did that start? Because I know that you've been a dancer like
Yeah.
basically all your life.
Yeah. Well, people don't know too, is I've also been an athlete for most of my life as well. I've played softball for 16 years. I played rugby in college. Um, I have ADHD as an adult, but also as a child. And so my parents put me in like everything to kind of keep my energy or to drain my energy to no avail really. But, I was in karate, I was in basketball, I was in, so many different things, as a kid, and then as an adult, it really love the team and sports dynamics. So I've always really been into movement, whether that was dancing or in a sports like environment. And so that was something that I just was part of my routine, part of my like daily life. And it wasn't until really puberty started to hit and all of those things that like started to change the way I thought about movement and fitness. And that was really because of body image and diet culture and the way people perceive fitness. And then and also like to the media's fault, like what fitness is perceived as well. And so I really started to shy away from some things that I thought were that my body couldn't do, for example. So, whether that was working out, whether that was running, whether that was dancing again after being body shamed in ballet. So, there was just a lot of things that I thought movement really felt, and fitness was like something that I didn't want to be a part of, even though I was a part of it for a long time. And so it really changed as an adult, kind of understanding what does movement look like for me and how do I want to feel. I
Yeah.
think what's the biggest thing for me, fitness is like I want to feel good in my body after it. So like if I'm doing something that feels punishing or that feels like I'm doing it because I have to, it's not like necessarily something that I want to continue doing or that I have motivation to do. So really for me, how I got into it is just like trying to look inward and say like, well, how do I want to make my body feel good? How can I get peace of mind? How can I get um a calming feeling in my body because I'm so antsy all the time, and that for me was movement and fitness.
Wow, that's incredible. So, while I do see a lot of unity among the plus size community, I also see and read a lot of division when it comes to wellness and
Yeah.
about what it is, about what it's not. And can we talk about that a little bit? Because you did mention kind of diet culture
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
stuff. And I want to really dispel that myth. Like, you're not anti-body positive if you work out. And I want
No,
to
totally.
talk about that.
Well, and I think so. I'm going to challenge people to say that if you think fitness is part of the problem and like you're not part of the body positive culture, you're feeding into diet culture. Like you yourself are actually feeding into it because what you think is that you think working out is solely based on body image, and there are so many other benefits to fitness. It can increase your moods, it releases all these happy hormones like serotonin, oxytocin, dopamines, even pheromones, like if you need, a little boost. You know what I mean? And so I just feel like there's so many different things, and actually fitness is really a science. If you look at the meaning of fitness, the word actually, like in physical education, it really means the act of doing daily activities without getting too fatigued, like doing daily activities in optimal performance. It has nothing to do with body image, right? It's all about endurance, strength, performance, power. And so when you strip away the idea that fitness is about body image, and you look at it as like, I want to build more endurance. I want to be able to walk up the stairs without huffing and puffing, or I want to be able to keep up with my kids. I want to be able to lift a fucking 200 pounds because I want to, you know what I mean? Because I think I'm badass, right?
Right.
And so I really feel like when people just talk about fitness and see see plus size women working out, and then the body positive movement goes against it, like, you're going against us. No, you're actually falling into the diet culture, you yourself. And so I challenge people to really look at the word and the meaning of fitness and internalize what you want fitness to be for you.
Right, exactly. Because I think that when we do that, then we're buying into how they took the word or the meaning and made it look a certain way. And I think that
Right.
a lot of people are so afraid, well, I can't do. And we're not trying to reach anybody else's goals. I think that's one of the things that I loved. I remember like sneaking into one of your dance classes years ago with my girlfriend Anna. And I was like, we both can't dance. We have absolutely no rhythm. And I'm like, we're going to just buy our tickets. I made her buy the ticket so that way nobody knew we were coming. We went into the back of your class and we were like, oh my gosh, everybody was having such a great time. And you're so free in your body. And it's so mind, body, and soul, your classes, that we were like, oh my gosh, we got so much more out of it. And I feel like that's what people are missing when they're
Mhm.
not allowing themselves, to move, because a lot of people have been bullied at the gym or bullied in general. And, they have certain triggers, but just like you said, I challenge you to think about it in a different way. And I love that about you. One of the things that you have in your Instagram profile, it says building body confidence through joyful movement. And I can't tell you, like sometimes when I'm feeling down, that right there, I will go there and I'm like, that centers me. Just that sentence to me is so powerful for someone living in a body that's, still struggles with multiple sclerosis and now my back issues or whatever. Sometimes I just need a little bit of movement just to kind of center myself and have that joy. So what you're doing is just absolutely incredible. Um, do,
You.
do you feel
It's
that?
nice to hear, but because I do this based on, it's like I always tell people, do what makes you feel good, right? And like um and talking about self-confidence in that way, when you do something that you're good at or that you feel good at, like you, and then you outwardly you're like, oh, like, you can't touch me, you know what I mean? Whether that's crocheting, whether that's dancing, whether that's whatever, like whatever your talent is, nobody can touch you for that, right? And so when you start to use that same confidence as like, I'm good at this, you're like, my hands are so good at this. Wow, my body is so good at this. Like, like your hands are part of your body, right? So um it's really like just figuring out what feels good for you. And for me, that is movement. Like, I love to move. Like I said, I'll probably say it multiple times, but because of my ADHD, the H part, the hyper part, is really like, I have so much energy to burn that I need to move. Otherwise, I'm very antsy and very just like anxiety provoked, I think. And so for me, it's almost like therapy. It's like, oh, I get to release, I get to like take out all these jitters, kind of quiet my mind. And that in turn also makes me feel better, right? I'm calm, I'm more clear. All those like negative thoughts I was having, is I now realize, okay, that was a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, calm down, you're fine. You know what I mean? And so I always challenge people, like, whatever that good feeling is for you to feel confident in your body, do it. And for me, it's movement, and I'm glad that other people get to share that with me, because it's such a dope feeling that I don't want to like keep to myself.
Shouldn't, absolutely. So you've been doing this for quite a while now. Do you feel like it has changed, like we're moving forward in the wellness space? Because I think people that aren't in the wellness space and are scared to even take, a Zoom class because I'm not going to be able to do it, or, something, or show up to, a class, where like what we're doing with Power Plus Wellness, which we'll talk about later. Do you feel like it has changed over the course since you've been in the wellness space?
Yeah, I think it has changed. I think there's still stuff that can be done better. So I will say pros. Like, I think the things that have changed in the industry in general, I think there are one more body positive, more plus size rather, options for clothing. Right, I used to go to the gym in sweatpants and a hoodie because that's I used to go to dance class in an oversized t-shirt that would cut up and like do it a little like side
Ah,
action, right? To make it look somewhat dainty, but I was literally wearing like a men's shirt that I had to cut and look cute because there weren't dance clothes, there wasn't,
yeah,
clothes for my body. And so I will say in the terms of the fitness industry, um, I'm so grateful for like having clothes to actually feel good in. And that is a big piece too. A lot of times in my classes, I dance in my sports bra and leggings. And if you told me, like, even 6 years ago that I was like, you would be dancing in sports bra and leggings, I'd be like, you're joking. Like, what did I lose 100 pounds or something? You know what I mean? Like that back then, right? But there's power in like, wow, this matching bra and legging set is so cute, and I feel cute. And then other women, I can't tell you how many times I've had women in my classes, like the fifth or sixth class, are coming like and just taking off their shirt, and I'm like, yes, queen.
yeah,
They're like, yes,
for
get to
that.
the sports bra. So yeah, so I do think there's definitely some change in terms of the fitness industry, the fitness active industry in terms of clothing. But I still feel like there's a lot of work to be done in terms of fitness spaces. I still go to classes, and I'm one of the only plus size people, sometimes even the only person of color, depending on, like, because I think movement sometimes can be a privilege. And so there is definitely spaces that there need to be more spaces that are body positive, or that companies really need to say, like, if they are body positive, then show that, right? Show
Right.
plus size people in your ads or on your feed, highlight them. Who's working with you guys? What do your trainers look like? Are you hiring body diverse trainers, like all those things. And so I still think there's some leaps that we've made, but we still have some way to go, I think, which is why, you know, we started Power Plus Wellness, in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was a great segue into it.
Yeah,
Let's talk about let's talk
that's
about
right. I was like, well, we're on the topic.
since we're there. um, I would love for you to describe Power Plus Wellness, because whenever I talk about it, I'm just kind of like, it's it's Jessie's world and I'm just in it. I'm just
No,
happy
that's
to be
so
in
true.
it. Like, literally, that's how I describe it, because I'm like, I enjoy the movement. I came into the wellness space very late into moving my body, because I was that person that felt like, no, I can't do it. I'm going to hurt myself or whatever. And I just had bad experiences. I remember going to a yoga class and leaving like, oh my God, I can't move, like really bad experiences. So I was like, that's why we snuck into your class. I'm like, I may not be able to do half of what she does. I'm just going to sit back here in the class and try it. But I'm always up to try. But with us, when we started Power Plus Wellness, I was just like, I'm that person that it's like, I love the space, but this is your wheelhouse. And I feel
Yeah.
so happy and blessed and privileged to even be in this space with you, learning along with you, and being in this space with so many other people. Because even though I'm with you doing this, I am like the customer as well. I am doing things for the first time and
Yeah, we're
experiencing.
both the customer at this point. We love taking all the classes, right?
We do.
No,
And
it's
I'll let you explain Power Plus Wellness and why we started it.
absolutely. So yeah, in a nutshell, Power Plus Wellness curates plus size wellness and fitness events in a safe space. And like that's a, short-term elevator pitch of it, but really we're just like creating spaces that already these are a lot of fitness spaces that we are working with already exist, and we're pushing the boundary of saying like, hey, we want a body positive class, we want a plus size class here. We it's a private class that we hold for our members, and so a lot of it is really just like, one, the feeling of being in the room with other people that look like you is so crazy in a fitness setting, and people don't realize the power and just in that showing up, and you're like, okay, step one, I feel good, right? And again, I say this all the time because even as a confident person myself, I am still in a lot of fitness spaces one of the only plus size people, and and the first thing that I feel is that, okay, now I have to perform better, or I have to do something, like there's immediate pressure on me that I feel, that I put on myself, quite frankly, right? And we all do that. Something to note that I feel like people don't realize is that everyone is self-conscious regardless of your body image. And so in a dance studio, everyone's concerned about each other. Everyone's worried about oh my God, who can dance better than me? Like, oh my, like everyone has those fears. But we do, as plus size people, feel a little bit more pinpoint because of the media and how we are perceived.
Right.
So I think having that space itself first is like, wow. And then a lot of the times, again, you and I really open up the space. We welcome people. We chat with people. We welcome, if this is your first time, like, amazing, here's some things that you need to know, and really try. We also talk with the instructors. So if we're, when we first did aerial yoga, the first question we asked was, how much do these ropes hold? I was like, that's the first question. We were like, wait.
Yes.
They were like, over 1,000 pounds. We're like, great work. Okay, so we can do this, right? So, and we talk to the instructors like, listen, this is a lot of beginners. This is, the class that we want to focus on stretching, we want to focus on girls being able to go and do the inversion, right, and go upside down safely, and like, can we do that? And they were so on board. And so yeah, we're really thankful for a lot of the fitness spaces that we've worked with. Aqua Studios doing underwater cycling, with Factory, with Athleta. But we've just been doing a lot of great stuff with some partners, and some more things that are coming up this month and this year that we're really excited about. But it really birthed out of the idea that, like, I don't want to be the only one anymore. Again,
Right.
it's like, again, it stems and it sounds a little selfish, but in a way I think it is, right? It's like, I don't want to be the only big person in a fitness space anymore. And I know there's people that want to move. Case in point, where our classes sell out all the time. And so
Yeah.
it's not that there's a lack of people. I think that's what our classes are showing also to the fitness spaces, right? It's not a lack of plus size people that want to move. It's a lack of confidence that they feel like, I can move in a safe space. And
Exactly.
so our classes are not really are not any different than like their normal classes that they have. Our underwater cycling instructor, for example, is intense and she's amazing, but like, it's a workout. Shout out to Edme.
Yeah.
At
She's
the
great.
studios. Yeah, but we are, we've had, we've had strength training, we've done a lot of cool things that I think normally we thought our bodies wouldn't be able to do. So it's just really exciting to see the confidence that our women are building in the classes. I should backtrack. I keep saying women, but our classes are open to everyone. I think majority of the time, a lot of women tend to come to the classes, but I tell men all the time. Men always DM us on the side, like, is it open to men too? It's open to everyone. He, she's, theys, everyone. Okay. so,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so
My
yeah, but
brother-in-law has come to like two of the classes.
yes, he has.
He came to aerial yoga, came
Listen,
to aqua. Listen, it's
yeah,
for all of us.
if my daughter was, if we had a babysitter for my daughter, like in one of my fitness events, Thomas would definitely come to like a class for sure.
Enjoyable.
But
It's
yeah, so
definitely
I really just enjoy the space, and I enjoy working with you on this. I think it's just a beautiful collaboration. And it is a collaboration. I know that you say it's my world, but a lot of times, when I saw you getting into fitness, I got so excited, and I was like, oh my God, like, look at Maddie and she's like feeling good. And and I saw a lot of my other friends also getting into fitness, and um it just like felt really good to be like, oh my God, like they share an interest that I have, and that they want to move because they know it feels good, and they taken away that stigma of like working out is just for losing weight. And I saw that in you, and so I knew when I wanted to, when we talked about this class initially before the pandemic even started, right? We did our first class in 20 February 2020. I just knew that like you were the perfect partner for this, because you are, again, like the customer who's someone who like feared fitness for a long time and then got into it. And like that's such an inspiring story. Whereas some people look at me and they're like, well, she's been in fitness all her life. This is what she does. Like, and that's sometimes it's hard to relate, which I totally understand. So yeah, I think this is a beautiful
Get a
partnership
little bit
in
of
that.
both. They get kind of the expertise from you, and then they get the like, listen, I hear you, girl, because I was scared. I don't know half the stuff, and sometimes I can't do, and I sweat with you. You know, it's
Yeah.
we can take that little bit of fear away from people, walking into the space. And I think for me doing this with you, I have a certain level of confidence because I know that you're steering us in the right direction. You know, and I'm watching moms and daughters, I'm watching people travel to our classes and our class, so
From Boston.
the need is
Crazy.
there. The need is definitely
Crazy.
there.
Yeah.
But if I can take it back a little bit further, I remember you being, and this issue was sponsored by Lane Bryant. So I should have said that in the very beginning. But this all kind of came together. I remember walking by a Lane Bryant store after I had dropped off my daughter at school, and I knew who you were already, but we didn't like know each other.
Mhm.
And in the front of the store, I see you in a Livy Active campaign, and I'm like, is that girl Curves with? I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is happening? It looks so amazing. The campaign is one of the things that I still think about. And it's been years since that campaign came out. It was a very diverse campaign. It was you and like three other people. Um,
Mhm.
it was so well done. It spoke to so many of us, but it was also at a time where people were still struggling to accept what fitness or people that look like us can be in the fitness space. And they really just put it front and center.
Totally.
It wasn't just on social, it was in the front of the store for you to see. And that made a lot of conversations happen. Tell me about that
Oh, yeah.
experience for you.
Yeah, it was such an amazing, I will say, like, obviously we had like trolls and stuff, but there was just I would say like 99% of it was amazing. Like I always say this, that I give credit to Lane Bryant a lot because they really catapulted my career. When they found me on Instagram, I had like 5,000 followers. It wasn't like anything huge. And I thought someone was catfishing me or like kind of troll me in a way. I was like, there's no way Lane Bryant is hitting me up in the DM. Mind you, this was in 2016. So like, I still think it was pretty new in the sense of like Instagram and brand partnerships and things like that, not to where it is right now. And then think about that was like what, uh, 6 years ago now almost, which is crazy. But a lot has changed in social media, right? And so I really was like, there's no way this is real. But I was like, okay, they gave me an email. If I email them, like, what's the harm in that, right? So it was real, which was crazy. Um, and what I didn't realize was I was part of a campaign that really changed the game. And I did not know that at the time. This was my really first like modeling gig ever. And I was just blown away by everyone's hospitality, and just like the way they were just lifting us up, and having us move around. I was there with Jessamine, which at the time I idolized. And we're great friends. We're friends now, but like it's just like I was like, I can't believe I'm here with like Julie Henderson. And it's like, who took this little like 5 foot two like shorty from the Bronx here and put her here? I don't know how. But What I didn't realize was that this was the first campaign ever that they've used like plus size women that weren't typically hourglass. And so you had, a size 28. You had the short, like petite apple shape one. Hey, that's me, right? Like, you know what I mean? There was just so many different pieces to it that I didn't realize the brevity of what this campaign was going to be. And so, in a way, it really catapulted me to more people to know about my movement and to know about my classes and everything, which was great, and I loved it. And there definitely were people that were haters, and I'm gonna say doubters because they're just doubting what I can do, right?
Right, right.
They
And it
didn't
really
know.
does, it really is about where they are. I always say when someone, doubts you or hates on you, it's
Right.
really about where they are in their journey.
Yeah,
And sometimes
totally.
that changes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was the first time I had to kind of deal with that a little bit, and that was I learned. Uh, I'm thankful again for that process because I learned kind of how to deal with that now. Um, and so, again, that was a very small piece of the puzzle, but really like super grateful. And it comes back full circle really because, now we're here talking about it, but it's just been, I'm forever grateful for that campaign because I was part of something really, really awesome. And I will never forget that.
Yeah, it was definitely very powerful. It definitely started a narrative. I remember talking to a lot of different people. I don't think that we even realize as plus size people that we're used to seeing certain images ourselves, and we are conditioned to
Of
see certain
course.
images, so we can even though we're saying no, 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 we want it more, but in our mind we're still conditioned, we can still be critical. And I remember like standing outside, and I think I was taking pictures of the posters outside, because I was just like, oh my god, and I
Yeah.
remember
Oh my God. So many family members would do the pose with me at the window.
it
It
was
was so
fantastic.
funny.
It was fantastic, but I overheard, how the like people walk around the mall like for exercise, and I remember like a group of women, they were probably like in their 50s, and they walked by and they looked, and their comments were not positive, and they were not like probably around my size, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe like an 18, 16. And I said to myself, that generation is so still embedded in self, doubt, and, doesn't have the self-confidence. They're not walking around for health. They're walking around because they want to be skinny, because they want to change their body. So seeing that was going against what they were actively doing. Like, I'm not walking so that I can be myself. I'm walking because I don't want to be myself. And that I had so many conversations just based on that experience alone, of me being there so proud that I'm taking a picture, but listening to these poor women who are living still in this narrative. And I think that that's why that campaign was so incredibly powerful, not only just in general, because every brand saw that, but it was powerful for us because I don't think that we realized how conditioned we are to seeing certain images, in the fitness space, and how we say, oh no, because this year is going to be my year. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. Why can't right now be your time? Why can't this be your minute? This could be your second. This is your day. Own it
Right.
now. You don't have to change to be your best self. You could be your best self right now. You're just doing good stuff for yourself. And I think that's one of the things I love about you. You're so positive in all of your classes. And, I remember we did a Christmas one. Remember? We did a
Oh
Christmas,
my God,
you
yes.
remember? And you just did a
That was
whole,
so fun.
we had to put like our intentions in a little thing, and we had to read it. And I was like, I cried. I was like, I didn't come to cry. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Like, it was a whole thing. It was a whole
Girl,
thing.
dance
I
therapy, dance
definitely,
therapy.
yeah, yeah. This was a whole journey. Like, this definitely didn't happen overnight. And it seems like that's
No,
the theme of my life. Like, things just happen or very organically. But I was like, why am I crying? I didn't come to cry.
it's Christmas.
But I thank you so much for your time. Everyone that's in New York or around or wants to travel, they come to the Power Plus Wellness classes and everything that you do. But you also started Free the Jiggle. And I wanted to talk about that before,
Yeah.
we end. Let's talk about Free the Jiggle and all your classes and where people can find you and, how they can connect with you.
Yeah, so Free the Jiggle is really I've been teaching before, before the pandemic, and they were more choreograph based classes. Free the Jiggle really was birthed through the pandemic, and that was just doing follow along dance classes that I can teach on Instagram at the time. Just to do something that help people feel good. So I was doing it almost every day at noon for the first 2 months of the pandemic, really just to give something back and give some joy in a crazy time, which led to like full classes, which led to like brand partnerships in classes. And now we have a whole dance gym, dance studio, I would say a virtual dance studio on Interval, where we host our Free the Jiggle classes. We have pre recorded classes, live classes, and they are just follow along dance classes filled with some jiggling, which really is like shaking therapy. Shaking actually does a lot of things for the body. It activates the lymphatic nodes. Oh my God. So, Free the Jiggle, yes, is a follow along dance class. We have a lot of movement, dancing, a lot of shaking and jiggling. I say the Free the Jiggle is really about like shake therapy and engaging the lymphatic system and releasing all the toxins and stressing your body. But we also recite affirmations. So it really is a therapy session in a way. If you need to release anxiety, release just some stress, or just like want to have a feel good time, join us on Interval at Free the Jiggle.
And Free the Jiggle. And then your Instagram is
Yeah, so my Instagram specifically is Curves with Moves, but if you want to dance with us and get some free tutorials, you can also check out at Free the Jiggle.
excellent, excellent. So we're going to put all the information on our posts and on our social media platforms so that everyone can follow you and jiggle and shake and dance and move and have joyful movement, because that is like my favorite like saying for the years, like joyful
Right? It
movement.
makes you want to move. It makes you want to move. You're like, I don't do fitness. I do joyful movement.
Love it. But thank you so much, Jessie. I know I kept you a
Thank
little bit
you.
longer than I expected, but I had such a great time with you. Thank you so much for being our cover model. And I hope that everyone enjoys this interview, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.